clearly something was going on that we wouldn't necessarily want to happen in a high school contest.
A one-time power in high school football is rocked after an ugly end to its final game, and also allegations of recruitment violations by coaches. This ordeal even forced the principal of Lakeridge High School to issue a written apology to parents. Welcome everyone to KOIN 6 News at 5. I'm Kelly Day.
And I'm Jeff Gianola, and here are the facts. Lake Oswego's Lakeridge High School embarrassed by Jesuit in the 6A quarterfinals. They lost 62-33 late last month, but the score wasn't the worst of it. Lakeridge was called for 21 penalties and 12 personal fouls in the game. Kohr Harlan joins us now with some disturbing new allegations and the school's response to that. Kohr?
Well, Jeff, I just about an hour ago got off the telephone with Jesuit's athletic director, and he actually declined to comment when I asked him point blank if some Lakeridge football players had used what I described to him as racially inflammatory language aimed at Jesuit players back on November the 22nd. He declined to comment on that. Meanwhile, here at Lakeridge, as you mentioned, the school's principal has issued a public apology letter of sorts to the school community here for what she calls a disturbing performance that fell well short of expectations on a lot of different levels.
I would say our season has been full of highs and lows, and it's disappointing to me that we ended on a low.
The low she's talking about happened nearly 2 weeks ago as Lakeridge lost its quarterfinal football playoff game to Jesuit. It's the way that Lakeridge lost that angers the principal the most at Lakeridge. The personal fouls and the trash talking from Lakeridge players casts a shadow, says Lakeridge principal Jennifer Sheely, on what is normally a well-behaved group of kids. But she writes in her open letter to the community, at other times, such as this one, we fall disappointingly short of our expectations for ourselves. There are no excuses for poor sportsmanship or a lack of integrity in our endeavors. The head coaching position for football, meanwhile, has been thrown open as Lakeridge's administration begins an evaluation of the team's entire season.
We are just going to look at the entire season from the beginning to the end, and we're going to be interviewing students, coaches, parents, community members, and just trying to see what we did right that we want to continue, and then what things we did wrong and try to improve those for next year.
No one in an official capacity has confirmed what some of the Lakeridge kids said on the field, but it was bad enough that the Eugene officiating crew working the game called off the traditional end-of-game handshake for fear that it might lead to something more dangerous.
Well, certainly when we see something about a game ending and officials, asking the teams not to shake hands, certainly that, it gets our attention.
Lakeridge's on-field behavior problems are a concern, in the words of OSAA's Assistant Executive Director Peter Weber. But for now, he says it is being left in the hands of Lakeridge school administrators. All right, now additionally on all of this, during the football season, OSAA also received information that several kids may have transferred into the district illegally and actually may have had the same address listed for all of these players here. I put that question directly to the fellow you just saw there, the Assistant Executive Director of the OSAA today. He said they have checked it out. They have checked all of these players in question out. They have checked out, and they were eligible to play in this past football season. Live here at Lakeridge High School, Kohr Harlan, KOIN 6 News.